Then he cuts the feather down to the right length, takes a needle and checks that it's a good tight fit. He coats the needle in strong adhesive and rams it firmly into the quill. The falcon then has to be cast. The silk handkerchief is to save her plumage, and the needle end of the prepared half feather is rammed home. Imping must be done in seconds, not because it hurts the falcon, it doesn't, but so that she won't have time to get upset at the indignity of being cast. At about 11 o'clock, the falconers start to load up. This is a field cadge, the age-old hawk transporter. In medieval times, the man who carried the spare hawks on the cadge got no pay, except what he could pick up in tips, hence the word cadger. They're being taken to the weigh-in. The essence of the falconer's art is to feed each hawk so that she will be sharp set, but not hungry. To fly their best, they have to be keen, but they mustn't be hungry. So as a check, each hawk is weighed as though it were a baby. If the weight is even slightly out, the falconer will think hard whether he'll take her out that day. But the real decision rests on a sort of instinct, which is the absolute hallmark of a good falconer. While weighing, one notices details like this overgrown beak tip. It ought to be trimmed. Here are the snips. She is coped, and none the worse a few seconds later. This is Shams, a Seca falcon from the Arabian desert. And now all's ready, and the last hawks go into the cars. This is a box cadge designed to protect tail feathers during bumpy journeys. Oddly enough, hawks travel very well in cars. Off we go to the hill, making our way up the rough hill track to the old ruined croft, which is our rendezvous. We are far up in the hills of the north of Scotland. One of the great joys of falconry is that it takes one to the most remote and beautiful parts of the country. First, the pointers are released, and each falconer selects the hawk he will fly first. Then we move off across the hill, the pointers ranging in front. A good dog that will work to hand signals is among the falconer's most treasured possessions. The pointer has to find grouse before the falcons can begin. They should work to the whistle too. And Queenie's got a point. There are grouse in front of her. The falconer removes leash and swivel, unhoods, and casts the hawk off. It's old bitch, and she begins her climb. She will go on climbing until she is at the height she likes, her proper pitch. And there she'll wait on, circling above falconer and pointer. Grouse are usually very jumpy, but they won't jump unless they have to, once they've seen the hawk above them. Now she's waiting on nicely. And when she's in just the right position, the falconer puts Queenie in to flush the grouse. The hawk turns into her stoop, levels out, and her speed is enough to overhaul the grouse quite easily. She binds to it, turns into the wind to lose speed, and makes her landing. All the film of the falcons taking grouse is in slow motion. At normal speed, you would hardly see anything at all. Indeed, the slow motion shows things that the falconers, even close at hand, had never really seen. After a kill, the hawk always gets her reward, but she must only have a token titbit, probably the head, if she's to be flown again. Now it's Suki's turn. She's coming up to a point. Old bitch is to fly again. She's waiting on. Grouse up. Bitch plummets down.
Whoa! Down, Greenie. Down, Greenie!
Levels out and binds to her quarry just like the expert she is. The keenest eye a few yards away would not have seen that as clearly as the slow motion shows it. Other grouse getting up around her. Immediately she's down, she kills the grouse by severing its neck. What a fierce old devil she is. One day she bounced her grouse into some wet ground, threw up, another stoop, and knocked the grouse into a bush. She threw up again, and then, very unusually for a peregrine, crashed right into the bush and killed her grouse there. Now it's Paddy's turn. He's soon on point, and it shams to fly the Seika. She waits on nicely, but Paddy is uncertain of the scent. His wagging tail shows that. Now he's got it, but he puts the grouse up too soon when the hawk is out of position. She acknowledges the grouse there, but doesn't try to fly them. Instead, she goes off on the soar. That is to say, she goes up and away until she disappears in the clouds, totally disregarding all recall signals. The fear of a lost hawk is every falconer's nightmare. Each waiting minute is an agony, and then suddenly she sweeps back across the sky, back in a long, low plane to the lure of a very relieved falconer. Now, he had been a very worried man. He thought she had probably gone off on the soar to cool herself. If so, she might be the better for a bit of damping down. Then she's hung out to dry. And later in the day, she gets another chance. Suki is sent into flush. Shams comes down very fast, hits the grouse hard. A very short throw up, the Seika speciality, and she has it. Look at the grouse getting up all round her. She's killed in the middle of another covey. And now the falconer is the happiest of men. Shams has killed her first grouse, and it's a tremendous day for him. Luncheon at the Aircraft. The hawks that are not to fly again are fed up, given a good cropful. Then they're hooded to spend the afternoon on a box cadge. Bitch has a terrific gorge on her. Now it's Nassim's turn. When he's cast off, this marvellous little tiercel takes one turn near the ground and then fights his way up. Up and up, until at about 800 feet, he waits on. When the grouse is flushed, he comes belting down in a most tremendous stoop. Until far from us, he catches it a terrific clout, knocks it into the heather, throws up and lands on it. That really was an epic flight. He killed his grouse stone dead in the strike. And look at the great clump of feathers he knocked out.